Hi there, this is Ed Herzog with ElementorServices.com, and today we're going to take a look at Elementor Kits. Now if you're wondering what Elementor Kits are, they're fully designed websites that you can install with a single click. So you find a kit that fits an issue you want, you hit the install button, you have your home page, your contact page, your about page, your service page, etc. So Elementor Kits are a way of greatly speeding up your website design process. Now there are Elementor kits that are available in the free version of Elementor, but there are only about 6 of them. So if you want access to the full range of Elementor kits, you'll need to have one of the Pro licenses. If you don't currently have Elementor Pro, I'll put a link down in the video description below that'll take you directly to the Elementor page so you can upgrade to a Pro license. Now let's head to the computer and take a look at Elementor Kits. So here I am in the back end of the Elementor Services website, and in order to access the Elementor Kits, all I have to do is come here to Templates, hover over that, and then scroll down to Kit Library and click on that. So you see that I'm now in the Kit Library. And as you see here, there are a lot of different kits. Now I'm going to correct something that I said at the very beginning of this video when I said that there are 6 kits that came with the free version of Elementor. It's actually only 5. So it's these first 5 here: Bread Bakery, Wedding Photographer, Painting Company, Eco-Friendly Water Bottles, and Ceramic Studio. For the others, you'll need a Pro license. And with some of these, you will need an Expert license. The Expert license is the one that is for 100 or up to 100 websites. So if I scroll down here, you'll see most of these are labeled Pro. But every once in a while, you'll come across one that is labeled Expert, and for that, you will need the Expert license of Elementor Pro. Now, you have a variety of different ways to find a kit that you want to use on your website. One is obviously what I'm doing right here, just scrolling down and finding one you like. Up here, you can search with keywords. Here, you can sort them by featured, new, popular, or trending. Over here, you have different categories. So you can click on a category and just see templates that fit within that particular category. And then here you have different tags. So if I click on that and expand that, you see that you have a lot of different tags here. Then you can also come over here and favorite different templates and then access those up here at the very top under favorites. Now, if you look on the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a few options here. So this button is for importing a template kit, and we'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. But if you go right there, you can see this gives you the option to import a template kit. Then this button here just refreshes the page. I'm honestly not sure why it's there, because it's not like they're releasing new templates every minute or every second that you want to keep refreshing the page. But if for some reason you want to refresh this page, you have that button right there. And then this button here just gives you some basic information about the template kits and what they are. So let's scroll down here and take a look at one of the Elementor kits. So let's just say I'm a UX UI designer and I want to use this one here. Again, you will need a Pro license to use this particular kit, but let's go ahead and take a look. So I'll click there on View Demo. So this is what this particular home page looks like. Again, they'll always start off with a home page. And if you want to see the rest of the kit, the other pages that are available in this kit, you just click here on Overview. So you get this home page, About, Projects, and Contact. So those are the 4 pages that are included with this particular kit. Again, it's going to vary depending on the kit that you're using. And if we go back here, let's go back to the home page. You see that you can also take a look at these in different responsive views. So that's what it looks like on a tablet. And this is what it looks like on a cell phone. So you can see these are pre-designed to look good in responsive mode. In my opinion, there's a lot of value in these Elementor kits, particularly for those of us like myself who are not necessarily particularly creative and can't create from a blank page. I just can't do it. I need something to start with. My website, every website that I've created, I start with some sort of a kit or a template, and then I rip it apart and I make it my own, which is what I think Elementor expects you to do with these. They don't expect you, for example, if you're a wedding photographer, to just import this kit and, okay, that's my website, right? No, they expect you to import this to give you some ideas that you can then take and personalize and make it your own, and to give you some design ideas that you may not think of on your own. So you see some very creative elements in some of these kits that, particularly those of us who may be beginners in Elementor, we may not think of doing just on our own. If we don't have that template, if we don't have that kit to work with to show us, oh wow, I didn't think of that. I didn't know I could do that with Elementor. So again, particularly if you're a beginner with Elementor, I think these are a great idea. They're a great way to start for creating a website. Another thing that I want to show you is if you want to use a kit and you don't like the kits here that are on Elementor, or maybe there isn't a kit available for your particular niche, you can also buy a kit for a fairly nominal price on ThemeForest, and then you can import the kit. That's one of the reasons why this import button is right there. So if you scroll down here to the very bottom, you see here, looking for more kits, check out Elementor template kits on ThemeForest. So I click there, you see 1,547 items, and there are new kits being added all the time. If you come down here, you can sort them by different categories, so business services, creative design, technology apps. Here, this is sorted by best sellers, which you can sort by newest, best rated, trending, or price. You see these come at a fairly nominal price. As I said, $29, $29, $24, $29, $24, $30, $24, etc. And you can see here, how many people bought each particular kit. So this has 248 sales. It shows you when it was last updated. You can see, again, this has 5 stars via 6 ratings, etc. So if you're not familiar with ThemeForest, I bought things from here before. I've generally been happy with what I've bought here. I have not bought an Elementor kit, but again, I just want to show you that you do have this option. And again, there are a lot of different kits and a lot of different niches. So if that is something that you're interested in, definitely take a look at the kits here on ThemeForest, and this will obviously expand your options if you want to use a kit to start, as a starting place for building a website. A final feature that I want to mention related to Elementor kits is that you can also export a kit and then import it into another website. So let's say you design a website, whether you start from a kit or just start from scratch using your own 100% unique design, you can export that and then import it. So if there are certain fonts, colors, design elements that you like using when you design websites, you don't have to start from scratch. Again, you can create it in one website, export it, and then import it into your next project. So let me show you. First, you have to turn that particular feature on. So if you come here to Elementor and Settings, this is listed under Experiments. So you come to Experiments, scroll down, and you see here Import Export Template Kit, and turn that on to Active. Once that's active, in order to export a kit, you'll come here to Tools, click on that, and then right there you have Import Export Kit. Again, you can import directly within the template kits or the kit library that I showed you earlier, but here you also have the option to export a kit and then import it into another website. So I click there, and you can choose here what you want to export. So you don't have to export everything. So you can export templates. So it says here, save templates, headers, footers, archives, single posts, pages, search results, 404 error pages, pop-up, and global widgets. You can export content, so pages, Elementor pages, landing pages, posts, WordPress pages, posts, and custom post type, and site settings, global colors, fonts, theme styles, layout settings, lightbox settings, background settings. So you can export what you want. You can export all of that, or you can choose among these 3 options here and just export part of that and then import it into your next project. One more thing I want to point out real quick about the Elementor kits is that Elementor did say that these ones here that are within the kit library were created using the Hello theme, and that they'll work best if you use that theme. So if you run into any issues and you're not using a Hello theme, you may want to switch to the Hello theme before asking for any sort of help or support. Now, the ones that you buy on ThemeForest is probably going to vary by theme. You'll need to, you want to take a look and see what they say about that particular kit before you buy it and see which theme it works best with. But these ones here that were created by Elementor and are within the Elementor kit library, they are based on the Hello theme. So that gives you an overview of the Elementor kits. And remember, if you want to upgrade to Elementor Pro to get access to a wider range of kits, as well as all the other features that come with Elementor Pro, there will be a link in the video description below that will take you to the Elementor website. Also, if you want my personal help with Elementor, make sure to check out elementorservices.com, where I have a variety of different offerings to help you with Elementor. So that's it. I hope you found value in this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.